Well, I made a statement about a number of these issues on Thursday and Friday during my live press conference and the live stream. We were in constant contact with the city of Boston throughout Friday night and on Sunday, and I felt it was most appropriate to let the comments I made on Friday stand.
Were there any existing ideas about police accountability with vehicles? You said you had talked to lawmakers.
There are several, but I do want to follow up. We have some conversations we'd like to have with some folks first. I think you can expect us to make a proposal sometime soon.
Have you talked to the police unions?
We talk to the police unions all the time.
What was your reaction on the call when you hear President calling you?
I actually missed this call today. It's the first one I've missed since we got in coronavirus outbreak, mostly because I was working on a bunch of stuff that involved the reopening and planning for the rest of the week here.
Governor, there are some who wonder why allow protests that could spread the virus when we're dealing with a public health crisis aimed at stopping the spread. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all worried about what large gatherings may mean with regard to that. The same issue was raised a few weeks ago when folks were protesting against our reopening strategy outside the State House. I think at the end of the day, the vast majority of people in Massachusetts have worked exceedingly hard to adapt and adopt to the strategies that everybody believes are the most effective ones at stopping the spread. And they involve things like distancing and staying at home if you don't need to be out, wearing a face covering if you're going to be out, stay to the extent you can 6 feet away from people, and washing your hands and surfaces and disinfecting. People have worked really hard to do that, and it's a big part of why every single major metric that we measure associated with the presence of the virus has gone down over the course of the past 4 or 5 weeks. But as I said, there have been a bunch of different protests on a bunch of different issues, and I guess what I would say is I want to take away somebody's right to speak out, but I absolutely believe that if you're going to do that, you should recognize and understand for people to actually reopen, for folks to be able to get back to work, for us to continue to make the progress we've made in battling COVID-19 for the past 7 to 8 weeks, 10 weeks. People need to respect the virus, wear a face covering. Many were doing that last night, and keep their distance.
Governor, the president's comments and tweets that you referred to, nothing new. He's been doing that all along. Do you regret not speaking out about that?
I think my comments today kind of speak for themselves, and I've spoken out more than once and probably more than many of my colleagues.
Do you anticipate or are you preparing to see a spike in the public health data due to some of these protests?
It's impossible to tell at this point. I mean, obviously, everybody knows what the benchmarks look like. We spend a lot of time focusing on those and talking to our colleagues in the healthcare community about what they're seeing and if there are other things we need to be doing. But I would come back to the most fundamental point here,